Do you want to avoid this? What about this? Do you want to avoid this as well? And the water pump, and the thermostat, and the hoses, and the heater core, and the pipes. Do the proper maintenance on the cooling system. Hello guys! Yes, again with the cooling systems. It seems to be a theme that just keeps on going. I already did a bunch of videos about cooling system. I already did the repair on this engine, the head of this engine, because of the lack of maintenance of the cooling system, and still people do not understand why it is so crucial. I understand that people don't want to do the maintenance, but you have to have in mind, if you don't want to do that, you have to accept the consequences. So I was recording here the video about the thermostat housing, and I decided to do an extra video related to this, all this work. I will not talk about the assembly of this because everything is on the description below. I already did videos of how about to disassemble and assemble all of these parts of the cooling system, the head, the chain, everything. Now I will just show you my way of cleaning with just hose and water, cleaning the circuit of the coolant system of your car, truck, and whatever car do you have. This system, this method is the same for all. So yes, in order to understand how to clean and why to clean the engine and the heater core and the radiator, for example, and the hoses and accessories, you need to understand how the system works. And how this system works is very easy because I already did a video. I will leave it here on the card, so you to understand the passageways of the coolant and why and how do you have a thermostat in between. All of that is on that video. So understanding that video, understanding that message, you can in fact start to understand how to clean and how to do maintenance on the system. And mainly you have three systems that you have to do your maintenance. That is your heater core, your engine, and your radiator. I took out the radiator just to give you here an example of the problems related with lack of maintenance. As you can understand, even if you remove all the hoses and pipes and accessories and water pump, you are never able to remove 100% of the coolant or water or mud or whatever you have inside. For example, here on this radiator, it is equal on the Alfa 156, and on the lower radiator hose, you still have about 10 to 15 centimeters of radiator that is filled with coolant or mud, because there is a place that you can have a lot of sedimentation. That can also happen here on the engine. Down below on the sleeves, for example, you can have sedimentation and you can have hot spots, in fact, because of that. Even on this engine that has the purge on the bottom of the engine block, you can still have sedimentation with this. On the radiator core, the same thing. In fact, I am having a lot of problems with the Volkswagen Group cars because of that. The radiator, the heater core, the flow is too restricted, and the symptom is the car overheats and the coolant actually comes out through the valve, through the cap valve. And the problem is not the engine, it's not the head gasket, it's just the heater core that is blocked. The flow is not good enough, it's not high enough. So on this case here, I will show you my way of doing this cleaning, this procedure, just with a garden hose, okay, with a medium pressure, and you need to have a compressed air, a compressor, for example. Why is that? For two reasons. First of all, because of the sedimentation, you want to have some force to push out all of the mud and crud and the mixture of water and antifreeze or mud that you may have on your engine. And the second reason is because as I am using my Paraflu up, that is concentrated antifreeze coolant, yes, I have to dissolve it in 50% of water, but that is distilled water, and this is not distilled water. But even if it was, I don't know exactly how much water, pure water, do I have inside my components. So I need to have 100% sure that I don't have any type of liquid inside of my components when introducing my coolant. So on the heater core I have the top hose over here, and the lower one goes over here and goes to the water pump actually. What you want to do is to push water through this pipe, let it come out through this one until it is clean, and then the other way around. Push out water through this one and see if water comes clear on this side, and repeat this process again and again and again until you see just clear water and practically the same flow of water that is pushing through the heater core and it is coming out. On the engine it's a bit different, but on the radiator here, if you can, try to take it out because of that low spot over there. If you do this with the radiator on place, you may not be able to take out the mud and the crud on that lower side over there. So take out the radiator, flip it until it is laid down like this, and then do the same thing. Push water from that side, push water from that side, again, until you see just clear water and a very good flow of water. Sometimes you can save a clogged radiator in the pinch. You can save it like this. Now on the engine, it depends a lot on the engine of course, but sometimes it's not easy to push water upstream. I have here that filler neck over there for the radiator. I think if you push water through here, you can go up and leave out through this passageway here and also on my drain. But let's see. I think I don't have a lot of crud on this engine because, as you know, everything is good. But my heater core, I don't know for sure, okay? Just one more quick tip here on the radiator. This is very serious and I see this happen a lot. For example, if you have low flow of water or antifreeze on this lower portion of the radiator, can you see the switch over there? That switch is in a place that is not very good, because if you have low flow on this part of the radiator, you also will not have enough temperature. And that switch over there functions by temperature. If you don't have enough temperature over there, the fan will not kick in and you will have an overheating engine because the radiator is clogged up on that lower side. The fan does work, okay, you can do the testing of the fan, but if you don't have enough temperature on the switch over there, the switch will not engage and the fan will not work. You can do this cleaning, you can do this procedure as much as you want. You can do it once, twice, 3 times, and then 6 months later you can do it again, 1 year later again. It depends a lot on the color of the coolant that you see on the reservoir over there. It actually depends a lot on the state of preservation of your components. For example, here on my Alfa 156, I already talked about this a few times, but I will actually do a video about that when I do my timing belt. On this car over here, in any car that you do the regular maintenance on your antifreeze, I do not need to do the purging, the cleaning of the system like I do on this car, because the system, the coolant is high quality, the system does not create so much sediments, and I can actually take out all of the coolant, or almost all of the coolant, replaced with new one. Coolant has done so much of a good job of keeping and preserving the system that I just need to replace my antifreeze. So no problems here with the corrosion on the coolant system at all. So let's do this. So now my water is entering through here, the water pump. I will close my lower radiator hose with my hand to force the water to raise inside of the engine. You make it go onto the purge, for example. Next I will actually close the purge just by hand to make the water come through the engine and out up the engine. It will come out through here. Now, as you may see on my videos about the repair of the engine, this interior is very clean. Now with the compressor, for example, as you can imagine, the heater core is now filled with water, just water. But what you want to do is to remove that water. Okay. Now obviously you will not be able to remove all of the water, but at least 99% of it is out. Now the next part is to assemble everything, put your antifreeze on. I already did that in the beginning of the video on that link that I left you. Also in the description below there is a lot of information related to this car, to this info about the coolant system. Lots of information for it. And I will just do a last quick test on the fan so you to understand how does the fan work, like I told you earlier. So here on the fan, as you can understand, two wires mean positive and negative. As you have permanent positive with our ignition now, you just need the negative to kick in. And it will kick in once the heat from the radiator heats up the switch, the big switch. As the heat acts on the switch, it will close the contact inside of it at around 90 degrees Celsius. So you have an open circuit inside of the switch. As the temperature acts on it, you will close the circuit and it will kick in the fan. As the temperature now starts to climb down, the contact inside of the switch, or the switch itself, will open again, and thus opening again the circuit, switching off the fan. So as you can see, it is not hard, it is not difficult. You just have to do the maintenance, the proper maintenance on your car, whatever the car. Make sure to use quality products, make sure to use quality coolant. Don't go buy the cheap stuff, that does not work. It is worse even. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them on the comments below. If you want, on the description, there is a lot of information that can be useful for you for these types of repairs or others. And as you are down there, please leave a like on the video. Consider subscribe and share with your friends. See you next time, guys. Bye.